Matthew James Slottown. I go by Matt. Primary hobby is model trains, or ferroequinology, to make it more broad. Ferroequinology is the somewhat joking name for the study of trains, right? Ferro, iron, equinology, horse. I'm 37. I've been collecting O gauge since I was, say, 6. Probably earliest memory would have been the Brio, like the wooden trains. As I think I was probably 2 or 3, and I just loved it. Like it was the toy that I played with all of the time. Actually, it's funny too. I still play with mine, not here and not by myself, but I gave them to my nephew.
What you are about to see is top secret. The first official test of the powerful new Lionel turbo missile firing car.
Trains themselves are just fascinating, right? So like from an engineering perspective, size, noise, right? They're just super, super cool. I love miniatures. You know, you essentially, when you have a model layout, like you are kind of city planning in real life, just at a miniature level, right? So you gotta figure out bridges and structures and all that stuff, so. I'd say this is probably the closest I have to my dream layout. Part of the reason we chose the house that we bought is because of this room, because I needed space for the trains. 4 independent lines. There's an elevated one and then 3 on the base level. And kind of had a vision, you know, that's another big thing, I guess, in model trains is like, what kind of operator are you? Or are you an operator versus a collector? There's a lot of guys that get really into switching and like building trains, which is super interesting. So that in itself is like a puzzle.
Alice, Santa Fe left the station at 12:01 and the VO freight is right on schedule. What? See, Alice, that's what you call an operation.
And then just, something that I could build scenery on, which I will not take credit for. That was a Lydia. Lydia is definitely the artsy scenery. It kind of goes back to, you and I were talking about like carpentry and painting. It's like, I like to build things, like building cabinets is a lot of fun. But painting is just, it's the bane of my existence. But like Lydia enjoys that. And she has that artistic eye. We definitely collaborated for sure. So like the dog park on the layout is a great example. That was one where like we had this empty space and it just so happened that we were at the train store and there was this new offering of these little chain link fences, which had never been offered before. And we're like, where could we use that? And we're like, well, we like dogs.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, look what's coming down the track. American Flyer all aboard. It's something nifty, something new. The tracks are all mounted and wired, too. The scenery's painted and fits just so. Now, put on the train and away you go.
All right, so we're gonna swap out some locomotives / trains. So we've got, I call this my Southern High Nose. It's a high nose locomotive. This is an ST24, I believe. So this would be like 1950s, 60s. And this is a GP9, so this would have been more 50s. And we're going to swap in a modern F9A Norfolk Southern unit, which should be pretty fun. Oh, one last detail, sorry. Oh, these Southern always ran these, so I was not running it the right way. They always ran long hood forward, even though this was technically the front of the locomotive. So this is a detail that's wrong on the model, and that the engineer should be facing that way. And they did that because, one, for safety, because if you're going to crash into something you're going towards, you've got more of a crumple zone. And 2, the steam guys really liked it. So like a steam locomotive, you know, for the long hood forward, it's more akin to a steam train. So this is cool. This is so Southern. I'm replacing the Southern with a Norfolk Southern. Norfolk Southern obviously is Southern Railroad plus Norfolk and Western and a bunch of other railroads. They all kind of merged. The owner of the railroad actually went to England and was so impressed with like the English steam, which were often green, and he basically just copied that with his railroad. So they were known for being a very classy, kind of good-looking train. So this is observation car. So kind of cool. At the back, they had this, again, very luxurious. You could sit back here, have a nice cocktail at the end of the train, and you just look out the back. And so this is a B unit. So obviously no cab. No one would sit inside of this. But it was just an extra power unit. So these were some of the earliest diesels were F units. And we're going to put it in the train, so it'll be a ABA. And I think these were like 1,700 horsepower each. Makeup brushes are perfect for cleaning trains, right? So, obviously very fine, soft. All right, now we're ready to roll. Norfolk Southern, office car special, ready to depart on track 1. All aboard. From a hobby perspective, it's sad because the hobby's it's literally dying. There's just not a lot of young people interested in trains. In the short term, it's good news for me because I can get some good, inexpensive used ones. But I would say I'd be surprised if in 30 years there's like even any market for new trains, which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, there definitely are kids that obviously love trains, and I think that's the hope, is that kids keep it alive. And that's why you see, I was controlling the trains in my app. A big part of doing that on the phone is to try to appeal to the younger market. Yeah, so we're going 37. I like slow trains, so I run everything like below 45. But yeah, there's 120. I would love for kids to be exposed to it in the case they find their passion in it, right? And I think that's also part of the problem, is like this kind of chicken and egg. But so no, I don't feel like I need to keep the hobby going, but it's more just like, it'd be great to expose kids to it in the event that they get as passionate about it as I am, or not just me, but the entire hobby, whatever. At a certain point, it'll be very difficult, but I will probably tear it all down and address things that annoy me now. And I wouldn't mind doing actually fewer tracks, but maybe more circuitous, or I maybe could only run 2 trains at once, but I've got more options and switches and stuff. Because right now I very much just kind of run 4 in loops at a time. Part of it's storage too, with the collection growing.
I am sick and tired of eating, sleeping, and living on a railroad. Either you stop playing with toys and grow up, or I'm going home to Mother.
You tell him, Alice. One more day in this house and you'll be as crazy as he is.